there was that big storm and we had to pull over a couple of times because of the hail, and I was tracking the GPS and I don't remember what happened, but I got distracted for a minute and I wasn't paying attention to it, and all of a sudden I'm like, crap, we missed our exit. And by the time I told Jeff, it was he was basically passing it. So it was gonna reroute us, and I was like, should we find a spot where we can just turn around? But, well, you can't really just turn around when you're in a giant rig. It just doesn't work that way. And
another thing is, I bought a toolbox for the back of my truck, and it's too high. So when I do turn sharply, the rig comes down on top of it. Big mistake. Big mistake. It doesn't always do it, but if you get the angle just right, the rig hits the toolbox. Really.
The GPS decides to reroute us, and it adds like 15 minutes onto our time. And I'm like, okay. So I'm navigating at this point. Jeff's upset with me because it is dark. We are getting out of a rainstorm. Things are taking a little bit longer than we wanted them to. And okay, so the GPS takes us somewhere else. It adds an extra 15 minutes, which neither one of us is thrilled about. But anyway, I'm like, I got this. So I start and I pull in front of him. Normally I'm behind him. And I pull in front of him, and I am going down this road, and all of a sudden it turns into dirt. And I'm thinking in my head, I just start laughing because I'm like, I know Jeff is back there swearing up a storm because I have now taken him on some dirt road. Although it's not me, it's really Google Maps. But we're on now some dirt road with his big rig.
We're on some backwoods dirt road with rabbits passing by, jackrabbits, and antelope on the sides. And I mean, it was nice, but I'm traveling through a dirt road with my big old rig behind me, and I'm like, my rig is going like this, and I'm like, and the road kind of does this a little bit here, so I've got to drive in the middle of it, and sometimes it turns this way.
He looks like he's gonna fall over. He literally, sometimes the house looked like it was gonna fall over. Anyway, so I'm thinking it's just a short little tiny road. It's not gonna be very long. We were on this road for like 35, 40 minutes. Like, that's all. And Jeff's like, where are we going? And I'm like,
we had to go 20 miles an hour. The road was like 45 or something. We had to go 20 because if I went any faster, I would have lost control of the rig.
Yeah, it was. Anyways, and we had no idea. And he's like, are you sure this thing knows where we're going? And I'm like,
my concern was hitting a dead end. If I hit a dead end or some kind of terrain where I couldn't get through, that whole drive would have been a waste, and we had to turn around somehow.
Well, true, and once we got on it, there was no turning around. There was nowhere to turn a big rig like that around. It's done.
And then we hit a couple bridges that were like rickety concrete bridges, and I'm like, am I gonna make it past this bridge? Oh. And I thought my truck and my rig were just gonna sink right into the
Plus it had a weight limit that we exceeded on one of them anyways.
We definitely had exceeded weight limits on this bridge that we hit one time, and I'm like, I'm freaking out because I'm like, I'm gonna destroy this bridge and end up in the ditch.
Yeah. Anyways, I was laughing the whole time. Jeff was super stressed. Eventually he started to laugh, but we did make it out, obviously, and it was really, really late, and we kept going. But yeah, that was exciting. So don't miss your stop. So another time we were driving and we kept going and we kept passing all the gas stations and the rest areas. I was super tired, so I actually did want to pull over and rest a little bit. And we had, trying to think. Oh my gosh, I just totally forgot what we were talking about.
Sinclair?
What? Oh yeah, so we get to this little tiny town and Jeff sees that the next services are more than 80 miles away, right? And we had no cell service, the internet service wasn't working, so our Google Maps stopped working too. I forgot to download the offline stuff. And anyways, and so he's like, crap, we gotta turn around and go back to that little tiny gas station. Well, little gas stations don't really work for big rigs. But anyway, he's got to turn around. And I'm sitting here like, I start to laugh because we're trying to time it when these big diesel trucks are not coming down this little road. And I'm like, go, go, go. And he starts to turn around and I am literally busting out laughing because I'm seeing this ginormous, basically diesel truck trying to turn around, and it's just hilarious to see because it blocks the entire road. He's got to take like 90 turns just to turn around. It's like a 90-point stop. Anyway, and but then he's like, why are you laughing? And gets all upset at me because he thinks that I am laughing that his toolbox on the back of his truck is getting crunched by the house, by the rig, which I wasn't. I didn't even know that was happening. But anyway, needless to say, we're gonna take that thing off.
So I'm freaking out because I'm smashing my toolbox and she's laughing and I'm thinking, so I'm upset. So finally turn around and get to the Sinclair's, and that Sinclair's is like tiny. I mean, it's got clearance for the top, but it's like a tiny little Sinclair.
And everybody's there.
And everybody's there because there's no other stops. And so I pull through, just so you know, all the diesel pumps are on the outside of the gas station. I didn't realize that at that point. So I'm pulling through and realize I don't have a section with diesel. Ugh. So, and I'm upset at her. She's pissed off at me, and we end up not communicating. Guys, just FYI, if you need help, don't piss your wife off so she's not talking anymore because you need her help. So don't piss her off. Anyways, so I don't have her help at that point. I pull through, I turn around,
his back end, hold on, his back end of the house is literally hanging out into the street, mind you, okay? Because he can't pull forward anymore and he can't back up. He's stuck. And his whole back end of the rig is in the middle of this road. And there's this car, this lady who's done filling up, but she won't leave. She decides to go in, she goes to the bathroom. When she comes back out, she decides to start feeding her daughter lunch.
Just sitting there waiting while she's
the whole
feeding
time
the kids and washing her windows.
I mean, it was so
polishing her mirrors.
We're not even exaggerating.
She's polishing her shoes. I mean, she was. I don't know why this lady thought, hey, I'm going to sit here for 20 minutes doing absolutely nothing. She could have totally filled up and gotten out of the way and let me go through. Meanwhile, my back end is hanging out on the road.
Yeah.
And then there's another RV that wants to see, they see me and they pull through. So I'm in this huge space crunch, don't have a lot of space. And the people with the RV try to help me, but they end up causing more problems because they stop just behind me and I can't
You can't
maneuver
turn.
this
There
thing.
was literally like
they're way
6
smaller
inches.
than we are. And I'm like, what are they? They're trying to help me, but I'm like, they stop right behind just before they hit the
side of you,
the back of my rig. So my rig is still, super small, and I'm trying to come around a little bit of a corner, and so I've got to kind of take it a little bit wider. And they're on the other side, so I can't take it wide. Anyways, we get through the gas station. I fill up, and we get out of there without damaging anything. Luckily,
Yeah.
but
anyway, needless
it was
to
a
say,
close call.
if you happen to be at a small gas station and there is a giant rig or something behind waiting to get in, try not to get too mad at
Be
those
courteous,
people and be
please.
courteous as well because it's so stressful for them and we just want to get in and get out.
On the sea, the bigger boats have the right of way. It's the same thing. We are the rigs are bigger. They can't turn as well as smaller
we
cars.
can't.
So give them the right of way. Get around them. Get out of their way so that they can maneuver without smashing you or smashing.
I promise,
their
if you're
rig.
annoyed that we're there, we're so stressed to be there anyways. But anyway, so yeah, that was another lesson we learned, that as soon as you get to about half a tank, look for a big truck stop type gas station so that we don't get into these tight spots anymore.
Lesson learned.
Lots and lots of lessons
Lots
learned.
of lessons learned on this one trip, and it's learning these lessons and actually doing what we learned really helped alleviate a lot of stress.